Good morning. Great to see you. You make your time to get here, to innovate, and that's the whole thing. So you see it out there, connect, combine, create now. So we're living in turbulent times, in a VUCA world, so we have to innovate. And we don't have to wait for tomorrow, we have today to act upon it. So do it now. So what I'm going to tell you, which mountain to climb, that's the theme of the day. And as I said, we're living in a VUCA world. So we had two major black swans. For most of the people, it was black swans. For some people, it wasn't a black swan. So we had COVID in 2020 that led to lockdowns, personal lockdowns, staying at home, and that led to a huge rise in e-commerce. But lockdowns was also shutting down factories for some times, and that led to shortages. And these shortages led also to decline in demand and supply, and we all know that. But on the other hand, it has a huge impact on fuel prices. So that was also a thing. And already in 2020, 2021, we are talking about inflation, but on a minor scale. So, during COVID, in Germany already was 2 quarters in a recession, but bounced back upwards. So we thought we were there. So last year, February 24th, 2022, a black swan occurred. Russia invaded Ukraine. And it led to other economic implications, shortages in gas supply, and we all know it. And then real inflation. That's happening right now. And we see inflation, and we're not there yet. Maybe it's getting back a little, but still, inflation is on the map. And before COVID, we didn't talk about inflation. And now, interest rates are going up, so the whole change of the economics has occurred in the last year, I would say. So this is all cause and effect. And in supply chain, we know all kinds of cause and effects, and we have to talk about it. But getting back, some economists talk about some incursions, like inflation, but we have to talk about scenarios. We have to talk about what's happening. And this slide is showing you a slide from March 7 last year. So this is actually 2 weeks after the invasion of Russia. Basically, this is a slide from the gaming world. And before Ukraine, they already had some slides about what could happen if Russia would invade Ukraine. And as you see right here, in the middle you have the major disruption, and you see the first order effects. That's very likely, the darker blue ones. And fanning out, you have your second order effects and your third order effects. And then, well, they considered a nuclear war, but Martijn Cruyff, later on, maybe you'll talk about it. That's unthinkable, that will happen. But, we considered it, and the gaming world, who made the slide, considered it as an option, and we discussed it. And basically, this is what companies should need to do right now, because we live in a VUCA world, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. How to deal with it? Basically, we should do this for our own sake, for our own ecosystems, for our own supply chains, for our own business. And that's what we have done last year. So basically, what we did last year, Gartner was talking about ecosystem, McKinsey was talking about ecosystem, so I Googled it, didn't find anything. So basically what I said, I Googled on pictures, I didn't find visualization of ecosystems. So this is what an ecosystem of a household product company looks like. And it's not a linear supply chain anymore, from raw material to manufacturer to wholesale to consumers. No, there's a plethora of companies involved, co-packaging, logistics service providers, you see recycling companies. So this is getting way more complex. But we need to visualize this, otherwise we cannot understand how to deal with it in our own ecosystem, in our own business. And what you also see in the gray area, you have the incurrence of banks, investors, NGOs, governments. So basically all these entities we should be aware of, because they have all impact on our supply chain and also how to innovate. And if you see this, you have some options to do. You need visibility. You want end-to-end supply chain visibility. Look at this. Good luck. Where do you start? You want to do the planning, not on your own, but planning on different entities in your company. Here, look at the ecosystem. Good luck. That's a challenge. And sustainability. Where do you start? In your own factory, upstream, downstream? how do you deal with recycling, and all that kind of stuff. So basically, you have 3 mountains to climb. You have peak planning, what we call sustainable summit, and we have Mount Visibility. So we have to choose our options, where to act first. What do we want to achieve? And basically, choosing the right mountain is depending on your company strategy, your company ambition, and then you have to choose the right mountain. Because, you know, we are short on labor, we can't do it all at once. So we have to pick our fights, we have to pick our mountains, which one to climb. So that's the thing about mountains. And as you see, you know, as I look at this picture when I prepared this slide, you know, you look at snow, and you think about, oh yeah, snow, well, that's changing. We have a changing world, you know, sustainability, the world is melting. So I was thinking of skiing, and I used to hike when I was young, and later on I went on skiing. And later on, my friends asked me to come over for a weekend of skiing, and I couldn't join them on the Thursdays. They said, why don't you fly in to Davos and then have the Friday and the Saturday to ski? I said, come on guys, flying for 1.5 day skiing, that's absurd. So no, I decided not to come, not to ski anymore. So basically this is the CO2 footprint of a usual ski trip. You know, it's 48.9 kilo carbon in total, and 52% is of transport. So the rest of the CO2 print is during your skiing. So I was wondering, you know, I said, you know, no guys, I don't go skiing. And maybe I said, maybe I have to sacrifice skiing to be becoming more sustainable. So why should we go skiing? Because this is how skiing looks like in 2023 in France. So come on guys, do we need all this? And I think, you know, maybe we should sacrifice something on a personal level. Of course, we don't get there as a society, but maybe if you don't change your behavior, we won't get there. So basically, I said, you know, no, I won't go skiing this year, and maybe skiing was pre-COVID, and I've done that, and I've seen it. So maybe that's something I have to change. And maybe these are the changes people have to make choices to change their lives, well, to become more sustainable and to get a better world. And maybe the new winter sports looks like this. It could be in the summertime, but it also could be in the wintertime. So why should we have ski lifts and that kind of stuff? And we have snow cannons to get the snow. So basically, that's my personal point of view. So yeah, we have to innovate, and we have to act, and we have to make choices. And maybe we have to make these choices right now. But climbing up this mountain, you have chosen one of these mountains. The point is, okay, how do you climb this mountain? And you see Mount Matterhorn. You have 4 routes to climb. And starting out as a strategy, which route do you pick? And it's depending on your funds. Are you well funded or not? Do you need to hurry, or you know, what is the easiest route? So basically, you have to pick your route to climb this mountain, and it's depending on your internal cooperation. Are you aligned as a company? Is supply chain aligned with sales and finance and IT and HR? But also collaboration with your partners. So today we have a lot of startups and scale-ups. We see later today pitching, but also here in the room, they are there. And we have also established supply chain software vendors and autonomous mobile robots vendors here. These are partners that can help you climbing this mountain. So in this booklet, you find all the data of these vendors, established partners, but also the startups and scale-ups, the new ones, coming up with new ideas. So basically, you have to find your way up, and then you say, okay, who can help out? But also, maybe when you take Route 1, and you are halfway, imagine that there's another team there, and imagine there's a team from your competitor, direct competitor. What would you do? Are you waiting for them? Are you take another route? Or are you kicking them off the mountain? Or are you collaborate? So basically, this is something you have to be aware of up front. Be prepared. Don't be confronted when you're at it. So that's the thing is, you have to be mentally prepared, you have to be trained to make the right choices getting up to the mountain. And of course, the last point, it's the circumstances. Is it good weather or not? And what will you do if there's snow coming? Are you waiting, postponing, getting back? All the things. And all in your project, you will stumble upon barriers, challenges. So basically, that's also what you have to come to mind. So hopefully, with this day, you will get all the inspiration and all the necessary information to choose the right mountain, to choose the right route to pick it up, also to find out, and you have to talk with these partners, these startups and scale-ups, and these vendors who can help you out in climbing one of these 3 mountains. So, and there are a lot of supply chain peers here in the room, so make sure that you, well, connect, combine, create, and do it right now. So this is my introduction, but you know, to get a further introduction, we live in a VUCA world, and we live in business, and we talk about VUCA. But what is real VUCA is the military. You know, Afghanistan, that was a real world. And there's another world where we can learn from. We've seen that with scenario planning and leadership. And next to me is Martijn. He's a former commander-in-chief of the NATO forces in Afghanistan, leading 45,000 soldiers, and that was a VUCA world. So without further ado, I would like to announce Martijn as the next speaker. To you.